Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the KyodaiChat. And today we have quite a few things we want to talk to you about. So I'm joined here again by Jason here. How you doing?
Hello, guys. I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
It's been pretty good. It's been pretty busy. What with the conclusion of the FIFA World Cup, which is obviously one of the first topic we're going to go over here. And yeah, just a lot of things announced in a short amount of time. So we're gonna do our best to get through them all.
Definitely, definitely. Um, on the first subject, we can talk about the FIFA World Cup. It is concluded where the Spain is beating Argentina at the final to be the two times world champion, or that what they call it. So, what do you think about World Cup? Because it's hosting in the North America this time, so you must have been seeing quite a lot.
On my end, I actually didn't really attend any of the watch parties. I've certainly caught a few games here and there when going about my day, but I did attend, I guess, some private watch parties at my coworker's place, and that was really entertaining. This is kind of like my first World Cup where I was really involved and watched quite a few matches. Obviously, Jason, you've been following this a lot longer than I have, and probably have more an idea if this World Cup was considered a good one or a not so great one. Well, in your opinion, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm a big soccer fan for like a long time now. So yeah, I'm maybe relatively more familiar with the tournaments and everything like around it. Because this time this World Cup was the first of the new format where they including a lot more teams from all over the world, and which a lot of them will be considered like weaker teams or weaker nations because now they have a lot more upset teams getting to tournament. So, to be honest, from the beginning, I thought the World Cup would be uh, like relatively a lot boring than the previous one because there are a lot more weaker teams. So you can see a lot more stronger teams that just dominate the matchup. But it turns out to be quite surprising because we see a lot of teams outperform the stronger teams. For example, the Cape Verde, which they're now for quite smaller nation, they are definitely making the biggest fuss this time. Uh, uh, like they drew both world champions and the runner-up. They drew in the regular time with Spain, and they also drew with Argentina. They only barely lost the game in the extra time. So it's definitely outshine a lot of stronger teams such as Uruguay, who got eliminated in group stage, or like Germany, who got eliminated relatively early. So from after all, like overall, from the fans' perspective, there are a lot of they're definitely more exciting than the previous ones.
Interesting. Interesting. Well, I recall we having a conversation that even before the matches were starting, there was already some controversies because I believe it was Iran that wasn't allowed to join because of the tension.
Yeah, definitely. The controversy such as Iran being not allowed to enter U.S. soil, which forced FIFA to sort of reschedule or relocate this stuff, which at the end still like done sturdy to Iran. Basically, they just folded to the U.S. government, and they did that. They don't allow Iran to enter U.S. for like more than 24 hours. So basically, each game they play, they have to enter the US, and then they have to leave the US within a day. So there's a lot of problems around their team, and then basically it's a hassle, and definitely hurts their performance despite they're still making out of the groups. Yeah, that's I believe just one of the controversial stuff in this World Cup, and it's definitely not the only one.
Yeah, I mean, throughout this thing, again, this is my first World Cup, so I'm gonna go through some of the ones that we definitely have seen. But let's address the elephant right in the room here. A lot of people seems to think that the FIFA is backing Argentina. Jason, what do you think? Is there any truth to that, or is this just coincidence?
I mean, you might not be familiar with the soccer world, because you are not familiar with the Argentina and the Messi controversies. From I would say from the fans' perspective, it definitely has legs. It definitely fits the conspiracy that FIFA is trying to basically promote Messi as the face of the sports, and which makes sense if you think of FIFA as like a corporate thing, because they need a like a front man for the sports, right? And Ronaldo was quite relatively eliminated earlier, so they have to sort of push Messi to the moon. And in the competitive point of view, there definitely are some questionable calls sort of in favor of Argentina. And I mean, these things in soccer happens here and there. There's definitely no concrete evidence that says FIFA has tried to basically bias again with Argentina, try to push them into the finals, or maybe even wins the World Cup again. So uh, I mean, it's hard for me to say, because I actually am not like a fan for Messi or Argentina, so it may come out as bias too much. But I'll just say that some of the calls by the referees definitely are questionable uh, towards the Argentina, and I would just relieve that in the final, Argentina sort of shows their true color. Not only they got dominated, they got control by Spain the whole game. They also shows a lack of sportsmanship, which is not a good look for them. So that's what I thought about this. What about you, Sam? As like outsider of the sports, what do you think about this World Cup and all those issues?
Well, it's very interesting that you do ask. I mean, I understand going in that Lionel Messi is, let's just say, Michael Jordan of the of the soccer. But also at the same time, I kind of felt like there was also a lot of, soccer star, superstar that was in this World Cup that was really entertaining. You had the Kim from Korea, which, unfortunately, Korea was eliminated quite early. You had Norway's Haaland. You have Francis Mbappe, and you have, Portugal's Ronaldo. So there was a lot of stars to basically watch and cheer for. So again, I'm not one for FIFA controversy and whether or not it was truly someone fixing everything from behind. But I mean, I enjoyed the World Cup. Did it pan out the way I thought it would? Yes and no, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Also, if like for me, for someone who follow the soccer sports, this year's World Cup also marks the like a lot of famous players like the last tournament, like such as Ronaldo, from Croatia, the Luka Modric, uh, Messi was supposed to be his last World Cup as well. So you can see this marks the not only the new format but also like the sort of farewell to the other players from, you can say, last generation. I mean, we've seen Ronaldo versus Messi for like barely for almost like 2 decades now. So it marks the like the yeah like goodbye to all those players who were well beloved by the community. Also, we can see a lot of sort of young players, like well, not young players, but the players that will carry on and pick up the become the icons in the industry, such as Erling Haaland, and also Mbappe. So I think overall this World Cup will be will be remembered for a long time, not just for the controversial political issues such as Trump and U.S. national teams, that kind of thing. But I think overall it's a good tournament. What about you, Sam?
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, for someone who was actually following this as closely as he could, I enjoyed it. I obviously don't get a lot of the nuance. I don't have the full history, but some of the matches was just quite spectacular. The Canada versus Qatar one was incredible, and the fact that Canada was able to enter the knockout stage was, from what I understand, the first time in a really long time. So I really enjoyed it. From what I understand, the match before the final, England versus France, was more entertaining, is the word. And yeah, that should have been the final, because in between France and England, I think there was a total of 10 goals or something like that. And that match alone allowed Mbappe to kind of beat Messi to the second time Golden Boot award. So I found that really fascinating, and good for Mbappe.
Yeah, definitely entertainment game. Uh, for Canada's achievement, that's definitely history breaking. Although, like I mentioned earlier, this tournament definitely has a lot of sort of mediocre to weaker teams, so it's definitely easier to eliminate if you are strong enough to eliminate others and then go forward. Canada's definitely benefit from like a group, the group draw, which they draw relatively weaker teams. I mean, compare Canada to Japan, which has a very tough group stage, and then after they advance the group stage, they have to draw like one of the stronger opponents, Brazil. So luck's definitely one of the elements in this tournament, and also consider England versus France. That's for the third place game. In history, usually the finals will be definitely uh, conservative, because people will want to, the teams will want to plan thoroughly and play very conservatively. This is something, a lot of things are on the line. Where the third place, you can see that a lot of players are already, doesn't really care about the game. So it's, the defense is a lot looser than other games is. So usually the third place games will have a lot of goals. This is definitely an entertainment one. Yeah, I think yeah, that's at least I think this time a lot of audience, it gains a lot of audience from North America, because there's definitely a lot of entertainment matchups, and a lot of games are either won by extra time, or the like the extra times. So like the last minute winning goal, that kind of thing. So that's very exciting, definitely.
Indeed. Yep, indeed. And I gotta say, I mean, obviously, I think a lot of people would have, I guess, what's the word I'm thinking of? Anticipate a lot of these controversies. I mean, not to really just point out a single one because I think a lot of people are already talking about this, but the match between Argentina and Egypt, I mean, that alone sparked out a lot of conversations about, how is it possible that Egypt lost out to Argentina when they were so far ahead? And then that last goal, the third goal that Egypt shot in, were not counted. There's definitely a lot of conversation about that, and I think that also got the Egyptian coach claim that the match was really unfair. What's your take on that?
Yeah, Egypt, that goal. I mean, the first of all, the results already settling, so it's not a lot they can change about the outcome. They can only the things they can do is just to complain and formal complain, and then protest about the referees, the calls, which basically they basically deems there's a foul in during the game or during the goal Egypt scored. So from the audience perspective, it's definitely not fair because a lot of calls, despite the fact that now they have like a VAR system, which you can see the movements and the rules like the more clearly, a lot of calls are still uh, you know judged by the referees. He deems foul or not foul. It's on all his calls, so there's not a lot you can change about it. And then there's definitely some conspiracy, like where maybe he's corrupted, maybe he's crooked. I mean, there's not a lot of stuff Egypt can do. All they can do is that they maybe, I don't know. I mean, they can definitely do better in the defense. I think they are caught in the moment for the third goal or something that they sort of lose control a little bit, lost concentration, and let Argentina, a lot more experienced team, to score the comeback goals. Um, I mean, yeah, there's no concrete evidence to say whether Argentina fouled or Egypt fouled. There's not there's a we see this kind of judgment calls every game. So I mean, it's just only one of the stories that feeds the FIFA bias story. So I mean, there's not a lot you can do.
Well, that kind of leads into my second point here because, as you can clearly see in the final match, Spain basically manhandled um, Argentina, and it seemed very obvious that Argentina is doing anything they can to get the ball. I mean, the Spain's possession of the ball was so incredible that Argentina kind of had to resort to fouls in order to even get the ball.
Yeah, I mean Spain's. I think from 2000 or maybe 2010. From that point, Spain are heavily adapt this sort of control tactics where they basically control the balls and then uh, control the tempo and then slowly breaking your defense. Sometimes it can be frustrating to watch, but definitely a lot more effective in the tournaments. So yeah, they dominate is an understatement. I think they barely give Argentina any chances to make a attempt to shoot. I believe Argentina only register shot in the extra time. So they are definitely being fisted, Argentina. And like you said, Argentina, because of a lot of favor calls throughout the tournament, where referees just maybe not giving out fouls calls or not giving Argentina players yellow cards, which make them sort of a lot more physical in the final and a lot of fouls. And it really shows the sort of the dirty side from Argentina because they thought they can get away with it in the final as well. So a lot of fouls, a lot of yellow cards, even a red card for the midfield player Enzo Fernandez or something. Yeah, so they are Spain is definitely the worthy champion in this tournament. Despite the fact some people, me included, are not liking their style of playing, but it's definitely the worthy champion.
Yeah, I gotta say, and here is actually a shout out to Argentina's goalkeeper. I mean, that man have made some really incredible saves in the
Yeah,
match, and
Martinez. Yeah,
unfortunately, it just wasn't enough. But yeah, I guess that really concludes our take on the World Cup. Overall, I enjoyed it, and I'm sure people who are fans of the World Cup, I'm sure you have your own opinions. Feel free to let us know down in the comments below. But yeah, that's one of the big topics that we want to discuss.